Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Make Things Better podcast. Today I'm joined by founder of Hive IT, Jonny Rippon. Welcome on the show, Jonny. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Tom, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. And today we're going to sort of celebrate Hive getting to 9 years and basically go through how the last 9 years have been for you, really. And so we'll start off with a bit of an introduction. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you were doing before Hive and then why you created Hive?
Yeah, I suppose, where do I start? I suppose I could start back at when I was young, I suppose, when I was a child. I grew up in a family whose, my dad was a mechanic and a small business owner himself, so I kind of always been around a business growing, and I used to chip in. So I used to wash cars, I used to sell spares on the side when I was 12 years old. So I've always had a bit of a work ethic and a spirit in me. Then I went to university. I did sociology, and that kind of really opened my eyes up to a different world, to studying society and people and interactions. It kind of made me realise the inequalities, I suppose, that we've got in the world, and opened my eyes up to other than the class divisions that I kind of saw in my childhood, to gender and other issues that are out there. So it's kind of part of my DNA, I think, that I'm a sociologist at heart, but it had nothing to do with IT, obviously. Then I stumbled around, didn't have any kind of direction, you got your degree. So I did have an interest in marketing and advertising, and again, what makes people tick, I suppose. I've been doing a bit of jobbing in Leeds, and I landed a role in Sheffield, a company called Technophobia, and just started as a junior and worked my way up. The company grew. It was great place to be. It was just a really good company, a really good culture, and made a lot of good friends.
Yeah. So starting out, seeing your dad have a bit of a business and working in that, is that right?
Yeah, it was just, you don't even think about it, you muck in. My dad works hard, and I realised I appreciate the commitment of a business, but yeah, from an early age I was probably, dealing with customers and trying to make money, I suppose, doing anything.
Yeah.
I've always kept busy.
Yeah, and then doing sociology's open your mind to some inequalities. Is that partly what Hive's about, addressing some of those inequalities?
I guess it is. It's become that. I'll be honest. When I first started Hive, that wasn't necessarily the plan. That's just something that's within me. But no, we started because I was working the place I was talking about, and the culture changed. It became less enjoyable, and I decided I was going to leave. The company became more driven by profit, and kind of lost some of an ethos it had. So I just thought, I can do this better, and started it up with a blank sheet of paper or blank post-it notes, and just thought, right, let's do this different.
Yeah.
And 9 years later.
Yeah, 9 years later, it's been quite a journey, and we'll talk a bit more about that in just a moment. But over the last 9 years, there's obviously been a lot of changes in the world, and I'm just curious to get to know you a little bit better, I suppose. So here's a couple of more general questions.
Okay.
First one is, what has been your favourite album over the last 9 years since Hive was founded?
That's a tough one, that. Because I think the problem I've got is that I'm not just out of touch. I do listen to music and probably put together playlists and running playlists, stuff like that. But I probably consume music differently. So back in, when I was a kid, you'd get an album, wouldn't you? You'd rush to the shop and the new album's out. I have no awareness of that anymore, and more like to listen to, dip in and out of music, I suppose, and put together playlists with different genres. And public service broadcasting I do like, so that stands out to me as an album. I don't know whether you're familiar with.
No.
Really, no?
No.
So the probably the concept album, so it sounds a bit, but there's a fantastic album where about the space race. So they use real footage from British Film Institute and put that to music and tell a story through the album. So one of the albums is telling the story of the space race between USA and the Soviets.
All right.
There's an album they've got, which is called, I think it's called Happy Valleys or something. It's about Welsh steel mining and the rise and fall of the Welsh steel mining industry.
So
I know that sounds a bit strange.
The whole album's just like about telling that story. Then.
Yeah. But it's an album, so you want to listen to it because it follows. It's telling a story. So check it out if you.
Yeah, it sounds good. It does sound good. It's interesting because I remember like up until a few years ago, I'd never ever would listen to an album at all. I'd only ever just like listen to like songs in isolation. And then I was in a car on the way to the beach actually. That was when I was living in Portugal, and my friend was heavily criticising my lack of knowledge of albums in particular. And then I realised, actually, there's a bit of like a rhythm. Like it's not like they've just put some songs together in any order. You know, they're really thinking about that system of like, right, I'm gonna put this song first, and then you get that flow of it. So I mean, it sounds like that album that you just talked about have really put some thought into that in particular.
Yeah.
But another question for you is about football this time, because I know you do like your football just like me. We're obviously supporting opposite teams in Sheffield, but what has been your favourite football game that you've been to over the last 9 years?
Yeah, obviously, we're rivals, aren't we, Tom? So I thought you were baiting with this one, but I can't remember you beating us over the last 9 years.
I just hope your answer to this question is not a Sheffield United win again today.
Not at all.
Alright, good.
So, within 9 years, I've seen Sheffield United go from League One to the Premiership to back down again in many ways. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster. But to be honest, the football match that I stands in my head was actually the Women's Euros last year at Bramall Lane. So I took my daughter. It's the first match she'd been to, and it was just such an amazing atmosphere, experience, and we won 4-0. I just felt part of it, and it was really refreshing to just enjoy that experience.
Alright, and bringing it back to Hive in the last 9 years here, what would you say have been some of your favourite moments?
9 years. Obviously, the early days itself were fun. It was quite scary. We didn't really have a plan, and it was very lean, and we grew up for that. So there was always those kind of roller coaster moments. I think over time, I guess there's key times when you might win a contract. So say we get the pleasure of working with Shelter or UNICEF or a client like that, and that does mean a lot to me, and they're key moments. But I think ultimately, really, it's more about when we get the feedback back from the clients. It's not winning the work; it's finding out what we've done. Really works for the users.
So actually knowing that your work and like what Hive are doing is genuinely having an impact on people's lives.
It might just come from the client themselves. As my director, sometimes I just get that random a call or an email just saying your team are great, and that's always a buzz. But I was at an event a few weeks ago where I met someone who had suicidal thoughts, and they'd been on one of our websites, Sheffield Suicide Support website, and said that made a difference. That made a difference to them and their situation, and that was special to me, and that makes it worthwhile.
Well, absolutely. And then with the Hive team, I feel like we have a very good team here, really. What have been some of your best days out, or do you have like a particular best day out that you can remember, like enjoying your time with the team? We used to have lots of away days. I guess COVID's kind of prevented that a little more recently, but we had tank driving days, zombie apocalypse days, and we're well trained if there was a zombie apocalypse next week. We're sorted. But no, I think the best ones are just getting together. So we often go for just a walk in the peaks or get together for a barbecue. So no real agenda, just great to sort of chat to each other and spend that time. Show and tells as well. I always enjoy that you have your food and then it's like a bit of work as well. It's just a nice combination. How about favourite night out with the Hive team?
That's like a loaded question, isn't it? I can't remember the best ones. We've had some good nights out, good celebrations, good parties. I'm going to bring it back to clients again because they are. Often we're working together on a project, we're working as a team with that client. So the best times are often, when you get to meet them. and go to their events, and there's a few of us there, and we just celebrate our achievements. So.
Yeah, it's a great answer. You get to celebrate it with them as well. And also with like the Hive team, something that I've personally noticed, I've only been here maybe like a year and a half, 2 years or whatever, but before working here I worked for like another organisation where people just come in and leave the company after like a week or two, and it was really, really weird. And that was my first, as like an 18 or 19-year-old, like that was my first experience of like the workplace. And then this is like my second proper job working at Hive, and it's just totally different when it comes to staff turnover. Like I think we've had one person leave since I've been here. That's only one person in like 2 years, and most people here have been working here like for years now. I was just wondering, like, what do you think has led to that staff turnover being so low?
It's probably a question for the staff, isn't it, as much as me, but yeah, we do try to make a safe environment. We listen to people, we care about our staff, and hopefully then they appreciate that. I think we let people grow and develop as well within Hive, so people can train to new skills. We listen to people and let them nurture their career, I suppose. So I guess one of the early things we've always done, I just kind of took it for granted really, but we've measured staff satisfaction as a key metric for the business. So we've always asked that question: do you feel valued? Do you feel respected at work? And we get the feedback from our staff and always work on that, even though it's a 9. That's not good enough. We want more on that. But it's always been important, as important as the profitability and various other metrics. It's how staff
definitely
feel.
I've definitely felt that while I've been here as well, for sure. And you may have already answered this with a few of your answers about the clients, and the one with Sheffield Suicide Support a few weeks ago, or when that happened. But is there a particular moment from working at Hive that you've been like most proud of Hive achieving, if that makes sense?
I don't think there is that one moment. I think probably because our growth and the 9 years has been very organic and quite incremental successes. We might deliver something for a client, and it's kind of almost taken for granted in many ways. That's what we got paid for. That should it be that much of an achievement? We've done our job. So I guess I'm most proud really that we've survived, that we exist. That we can do the kind of projects that we do, and that we stay true to ourselves throughout that and our values. So.
I mean, 9 years is definitely something to celebrate. I think most businesses, they don't exist for that long, do they? And to continue being able to work on what's actually important to Hive and the people within the company. And kind of looking into the future now, what would you like Hive to achieve over the next maybe few years?
Yeah, I think it goes back to our mission again, really. We'll be stronger with that. We'll really pursue that, but we want to make a positive difference to the world we live in. So we're always looking for those opportunities to make more of a difference, to work with the right kind of organisations, partners, whoever it is that gets us closer to that goal. So there's no end to that, I guess. It's a big old it's a journey, it's a path that we're down, and I hope to continue on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always going to be loads of people in the world doing amazing things, so just having the opportunity to work with them and continue helping them through the use of technology and other things as well, because there's a few tools that we can use and all sorts really.
I think just to add to that, I guess we've got a really good reputation within Sheffield, locally. People know us. We want to get our name out there to across the UK and globally, because we know we're good. And we want to shout about that and let other people know about it. So.
So in addition to continuing trying to make a positive difference to our world, is an aspect of sort of your goals for Hive in the next few years to sort of expand that and sort of impact more people in a way?
I think so, yeah. So it's do you measure yourself in the number of people you've got, or we want to grow, we always want to improve as much as anything else, so we're always improving, we're always learning, always getting better at what we do. I want to retain the staff that we've got because we know that's something that we are good at, but you grow in the right way and stay true to ourselves. And
so only grow if it's staying in alignment with Hive's core mission, which is helping people, right? Okay, awesome. Final question then. So this is the question that obviously I ask everybody. Very intrigued to hear your answer on this.
I know what you're going to ask.
Yeah, well, that's the name of the podcast, so there we are. What can people do to make things better?
Yeah, I've mulled over it. I listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
I often think about this question, and it's really difficult, isn't it? Because everyone's different. On a personal level, I wish everyone would be a bit less selfish, a bit more compassionate, show more empathy to others, and just appreciate the situation other people are in, around the world or locally or whatever. So, and if you listen to this podcast, you're probably in a privileged position yourself. You've probably got a bit of time, you've probably got a bit of capacity to help. So there probably isn't really, there's so many tools out there now and so many means of helping. I would really encourage anyone who hasn't to sign up to something, to just Be My Eyes, which is an app to help blind people. So you just get a call every now and again, a blind person stuck in a situation where they need your help, they just need to know what colour that is. And that tiny 2 minutes of your time has probably made a big difference to someone else. So there are other things out there like that, not enough. So if someone is out there with an amazing idea, we'll help make it. But yeah, Kiva, Michael owns. You can, from Sheffield, from your sofa, you can make a difference to someone in Guatemala. And that's an amazing thing about technology and the world that we're living in. So
yes, I think compassion is just like the one thing I'd love to see more of in the world. So I love that answer, and it's great that you've given some sort of practical advice of how someone can go ahead and start helping someone else straight away. So we'll have all of the apps in the notes for this podcast, and you should see them on your screen if you're watching this here now as well. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Really enjoyed chatting to you. Where can people find yourself online and maybe Hive as well?
So obviously get in touch with Hive. Me personally, it's probably best on my email, so I'll share the email. I'm kind of on social media, but don't. Don't go there.
Yeah, awesome. Alright, well, thanks a lot for watching, listening or reading. I hope you have enjoyed the podcast, and I hope you have